Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar from Vegas Sense. Today's video, this is going to be my final verdict or my final thoughts on Lattafa Pride's Al Qiam Silver. So as you know from a previous video that I made for this particular fragrance, this is a clone of Bulgari's Tiger. And in that particular video, I stated that, I really didn't smell too much of any sort of difference between the two fragrances. After spending a little bit more time with this fragrance and the Bulgari Tiger sample that I had, I do notice just some slight differences at this point. The first difference that I would say is the most important is the longevity. So the longevity that I get with Lattafa's Al Qiam Silver is like around 7 hours or so on average. With Bulgari's Tiger, that one does last a little bit longer. I would say that one lasts about anywhere from 8 to 9 hours or so. And the main thing with that one is, at least in the beginning of the fragrances, the Lattafa Al Qiam Silver definitely seems to be stronger than Bulgari Tiger. However, I would say after about maybe the 3 or 4 hour mark, that's when the Al Qiam Silver starts to lose some of its steam, and Bulgari's Tiger, it still has a little bit more steam than this one has in terms of like projection. They're both sort of, more closer to the skin, sort of softer scents, you could say, after that, particular time period. But this one is slightly weaker than Bulgari's Tiger after, like I said, about that 4 hour mark or so. Also, in like the immediate opening, the main difference that I get between the two is this actually smells, to my nose anyway, this smells a little bit more zingier, in my opinion. A little bit more zingier, just a tad bit sweeter than Bulgari's Tiger. The thing that I get with the Al Qiam Silver is, I would say this one seems to have that ginger note amped up just a little bit more, maybe about 5% more than what Bulgari's Tiger does. But again, these are differences that you really have to get up close and really smell the fragrance. So I still stand by what I, mentioned in the previous video, in terms of these pretty much smelling exactly the same. Because in the air, these are differences that I don't think anyone would be able to know, or, anyone would be able to tell the difference between. So again, this is something that you would have to get super up close. You would have to have a trained nose, I would say, in order to, tell these differences. And I mean, for most people, like if you were to smell, this fragrance on someone, the Al Qiam Silver, and smell Tiger on another person, I don't think that you would be able to know that one was, the Lattafa and the other one was the Bulgari. So I will stand definitely behind the fact that this absolutely is a clone of Bulgari's Tiger, and it does smell pretty much exactly the same. Again, with the longevity difference, I really don't think that's too much of a big deal. 7 hours for a fragrance like this, which is like a super fresh type of scent, 7 hours, I think, is actually pretty good. Especially for a fragrance that you're more than likely mainly going to wear like in the summer and spring months. That to me is pretty good, 7 hours. It's definitely enough, I would say, to get you through, pretty much a work day. And this fragrance is also so cheap to the point where you could literally carry this bottle around with you, or, keep it in a bag or something like that you have with you, and just reapply it maybe halfway through the day, or, towards the end of the day or something like that. So this fragrance right now, it pretty much, it hovers around about $26 to $30 or so, like on the low end. And then I have seen it like as high as about $40 to $50 at other sites as well. So definitely, I'll leave a link in the description below of some of the places where you can find this for, you know, the cheapest price. But again, if you like Bulgari Tiger, if you like that scent DNA, you know, that tart grapefruit mixed with the sweet ginger, the ambroxan, this is definitely, I would say, in my opinion, your best bet. Bulgari's Tiger has a price tag that's over 10 times what this is. And I honestly can't say that Bulgari's Tiger smells 10 times better than this fragrance. I can't say that it smells twice as good as this fragrance, because it doesn't, in my opinion anyway. These two, I would say, are at least about 98% close, you know. So if you're a collector and you pretty much have all authentic fragrances in your collection, and you're someone that doesn't really like the idea of owning clones, then, you know, by all means, go out and spend, you know, the $300+ on Tiger. But if you're someone who really doesn't care about owning clones, or, you know, how they look on your collection shelf, then to me, it just makes more sense to buy this particular fragrance. Now, there's also other choices for Bulgari's Tiger as well. You have Afnan Tarathi Blue, which I haven't smelled yet. And then you have Alexandria's Black Panther, which that also does smell like Bulgari Tiger. But in my opinion, that one is Bulgari's Tiger, like, let's call that one like Bulgari Tiger Intense. Because that one, it definitely has a much higher intensity than, you know, what Bulgari's Tiger does, especially when it comes to that grapefruit note. That, in my opinion, is really amped up in that fragrance. And so much to the point where it does become headache inducing for me anyway. So, final verdict on this one, man. This one, for me, is like a 9.5 out of 10. Between the smell of this fragrance, you know, the quality of the smell, and also the performance and price, I would say this is one of the best summer freshy pickups that you can get, you know, period. You know, I know there's a lot of other different Lattafa fragrances out there, you know, that give you that, you know, sort of, you know, hot weather, fresh fragrance type experience. But this one, to me, man, you know, again, as long as you like that sort of scent DNA that Bulgari's Tiger has, which, you know, I think is going to be a pretty mass appealing scent DNA for most people, then, you know, this is, you know, one of your best choices, honestly. All right. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this fragrance if you've smelled it. Also, let me know if you disagree with my thoughts on this fragrance, especially when it comes to how close it is to Bulgari's Tiger. All right. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and please share the video if you found this information helpful. And that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.